welcome to Baby 9, the Be a Better You conference. If it's your first time attending this conference, guys, I am here to say welcome. Okay, guys, and if it's not your first time, I am giving you a hug, a virtual hug to say you were welcome again. You are welcome again. Wow, you guys made it, and I am super excited. So, guys, if you have met me before, you know my name. If you haven't, my name is Dara. A lot of you guys know me as Smiling D, and I am the visionary of Stars Delight, the convener of the Be a Better You conference, which is a conference for teenagers and all who love them. Guys, I'm just here to say welcome. And I'm so happy that you're able to make it, for the CS conference. I just want to encourage you, please take notes at the CS conference for all the things that the speakers would say. Please take notes. It's going to help you. It's going to come in handy for the fun activities, engage. I just want to encourage you, please, please, please do not be distracted. If anyone is seated by your side that would distract you, change your seats. Okay. And also, don't allow your phone to distract you. This is not the time, guys. This is not the time to be on social media. So if you can, put your phone on mute, but don't even go to social media for the short time that we're going to be spending with each other. Again, welcome. I am so happy that you made it to this year's baby. And guys, it's 9. Baby 9. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. So this means we've done it 8 times and now it's the 9th time. Okay, guys, I'll be seeing you soon and I hope you have a great time at this year's conference. Bye for now.
Hey guys, now is the time to know more about so much. Did you know that grasshoppers have ears in their bellies? Did you know that TikTok launched in 2016 and it's available in 155 countries and in 75 languages? The longest river in the world is River Nile. Sea lions are the only other mammals besides humans that can keep a beat. Did you know that the blue whale's tongue can weigh as much as an elephant? Dr. Ibukun Abejerinde is a Nigerian by birth and global citizen per experience. She trained as a medical doctor, starting first in Nigeria and later on in Ukraine, after which her motivations and passions led her to pursue a career in global health. Academically, she has experienced both extremes of performance, failing woefully and excelling with honors. This combination of experiences informs her balanced and humble perspective on academic excellence. In addition to training in clinical medicine and community and health psychology, Ibukun completed a Master's of Science in Global Health at Maastricht University, the Netherlands, thanks to a scholarship. She soon after secured a competitive European Union fellowship and grant that allowed her to pursue a PhD in global health in Europe. Dr. Bejirinde currently works as a research scientist at Women's College Hospital Institute for Health System Solutions and Virtual Care in Toronto, Canada, where her research informs and improves the delivery of health services within Canada and globally. Her career has involved international experience working on projects in about 14 countries, including as a consultant for the WHO, World Health Organization headquarters. Ibukun is also an assistant professor at the Dalla Lana School of Public Health, University of Toronto, Canada, where she has the pleasure of teaching, supervising, and mentoring master's and PhD students. She loves traveling, solving complex problems, and taking long walks. In her spare time, you'll also find her enjoying the company of her husband and 2 children. Give a warm baby welcome to Dr. Ibukun Abejerinde as she shares on soaring in your academics.
Hi everyone, my name is Ibukun Abejiride, and it is such a pleasure to be able to make this short presentation and to share some tips and advice, if I can call it that, on how to soar academically and what it means or what it would entail to become a high-flying student. I'm going to try to focus on 5 major points. One is, what are your goals for academic success? The second is to talk about time management principles. The third has to do with your models, your peers, and your mentors, and the impact that that can have for you on the impact that can have on you for academic success. The fourth point has to do with the work-life balance. You may have heard that very often, but really focusing on health and well-being. And the last point, atypical as it may be for the focus of this talk, is failure. How do you handle failure when it does happen, if it does happen? Okay, so quick ones, goals. Being a lifelong student myself, I think it's always very important for each person to have a clear idea of why they are striving and aiming for higher. Like, where do you want to go? And how exactly do you want to get there? There needs to be a very clear plan. And your plan, you may have heard of the SMART goals, right? So it has to be specific. What exactly are you aiming to achieve? Are you trying to improve your GPA? Are you trying to just get ahead in the class? Are you trying to graduate with the first class? Are you trying to pass a course that you had failed earlier? It has to be very specific. Then it has to be measurable. How do you know that you have accomplished the goals you set for yourself? Is it going to be based on your score at the end of the course? Is it going to be based on the score on a test? Is it going to be based on how quickly you finish a task or an assignment? Is it going to be based on feedback? What is going to be your metric for success? The third point is it has to be achievable, right? I mean, you can aim for how high you want to aim for, but you also have to think about, is this something that is realistic? So for example, if someone were to come to me and say, I'm trying to go from a 2.0 GPA to a 4.0 GPA in one academic year, I may be like, probably you need to take it 5 points, 0.5 points, or 1 point at a time, right? So you have to really think, is this a realistic plan? Is it an achievable plan? And the point there is not to aim for less, but to aim for something that is ambitious but realistic. The fourth SMART aim, so the R in the SMART, is relevant. It has to be very connected to your why, right? So how is this goal tied into your career prospects or the degree you want to pursue or the kind of school you want to get into? So your goal has to be very relevant to how your academic success ties into your future career success. And then the last and final point, the T in SMART goals, is time bound. You have to have a limit and say, okay, this is what I want to accomplish in this semester, right? And whether that's 4 months or 6 months, or this is what I want to accomplish within 1 year. And I think it's always good, last point on this is, whenever you're setting goals, any goals in life, really, not just for academic success, try to have an accountability system, right? Where you share your goals with someone else, at least one person, and you can trust that that person will check on you and give you feedback and sort of coach and support and encourage you through the process as you try to achieve your goals. The second point I wanted to talk about related to academic success is time management. One of the biggest things after you set your goals, and we mentioned, having goals that are time bound, is being able to apportion your time appropriately, given everything else you have going on for you. For academic success, you need to be disciplined with your time. Like, time is one of the most valuable tools you would have. You can even call it a currency for your academic success, but it can go away so rapidly if it's not well managed. Nowadays, there's a lot of blessing in the fact that you have digital apps for time management. You even have almost like project management tools that you could use. If you want to keep it simple, you can just even do a day-to-day checklist. But try to think of, when do I wake up and when do I go to bed? And how am I managing my time in the in-between? And as you think through your goals and your why, you would realize, what am I spending time and energy on that I can let go of, at least in this season where I have this ambitious goal to meet, so that I can focus more on my academics, whether that's studying or going to a peer group or study group, or self-development, reading above and beyond where you have to be so that you're showing up in your classes better. Being able to manage your time well will be very critical and important for you to be able to accomplish the goals you've set for yourself. The third point in this very short presentation is about peers, mentors, and models. It's very widely known that it's easier to aspire to become something when you've seen other people who have achieved it or are well on their way to achieving it. Think about the people that you surround yourself with, whether those are people at the same level as you, so that's your peers, or people who you look up to. Who are those who you can regularly almost feedback to or bounce your ideas or bounce your vision off to say, this person is already achieving what I want to achieve, or has achieved what I want to achieve, or is well on their way with me in this journey to achieve that. Because when you surround yourself or you allow yourself to be constantly or regularly influenced by people who are as ambitious, as goal-minded or goal-oriented or results-oriented as you are or as you want to be, it's very easy to see yourself becoming that. My fourth point is on health and wellness. I know there's a huge risk of us just saying, increase your GPA, study hard, work hard, no time for play. But I like to believe that play is a huge part of productivity. So allow yourself some grace to rest. You can't be studying 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Allow yourself to rest 5 to 8 hours a day. Allow yourself weekends. Allow yourself time to sit with your family and have dinner. Allow yourself time to hang out with supportive peers. And, just spend time not studying. You'll be amazed at how much renewal happens when you have stepped away from your books or your task or your academic goals. And when you come back to it the next time at your next study session, you feel very well refreshed. There's so much happening in the world today. And it's so easy to lose sight of the ability to check in with ourselves and say, am I doing okay? Am I feeling emotionally balanced? Am I struggling? Am I feeding myself well, like eating the right foods? Am I having a balanced diet? Am I exercising regularly? Am I spending some time in nature? So counterintuitive as it may sound, a big tip for academic success is making time away from studying. And my last and final point actually has to do with failure. People look at me now and think, oh my, she must have worked really hard and gotten all A's and just been super awesome throughout her academic time. And that will be a lie because it's not true. I have had my share of failure. And I think that it's very important for young people to know that failure can happen. Even when you work hard, failure can happen academically. You may have a setback, you may fail a course that you thought you worked so hard on, you may have to repeat a class. I have repeated classes in med school. So you really want to think about what happens if I fail and how do I learn from it and get back up. One part of that is feedback. You checking in within yourself and asking, what went wrong here? Was it that I didn't study enough? Was I graded unfairly? Was this some form of injustice? Did I take things for granted? Did I go into the exam too confident? Also, allow yourself be surrounded by trusted people who can give you feedback and advice, because sometimes we can be too harsh on ourselves and we are our own worst critic. And give yourself permission to understand that sometimes failure is not your fault, right? And the second thing related to that is once you've reflected and you've identified areas for improvement or you've identified what went wrong, ask for help. And that could mean setting up a new plan to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do differently. So it could be, I'm going to retake the course, or it could be, maybe this course isn't for me. Maybe I need to take another course, right? Maybe what I've learned from this experience is this topic is not my thing. However, I still need to make my credits. So I'm going to take another course. Or it could be going back to your advisor and saying, I'm surprised I failed this course. I worked really hard. I would like to have another opportunity to do this again. Could you give me extra support if you need it on how to do better next time? So I think it's very important to ask for help. I mean, academic success is a whole, we could sit all day and talk about it. But I think the important things, as I've spoken about here, some of the important things, as I've mentioned here, regarding goal setting, time management, surrounding yourself with the right people, finding balance between productivity and play, and being mentally and emotionally resilient to be able to bounce back from failure, are very key parts of being on your pathway to soaring academically. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going to ask the organizers to feel free to share my email or my LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to follow up and answer any questions people may have. All the best to you, and wishing you all of good success in your academic and career lives. Cheers.
Hey guys, hope you've been having a great time so far at this year's baby. Now it's that time where we all get to know how well you know some countries of the world by their flags. By their flags, you shall know them. Now let's get started. Whose flag is that? South Africa, Ghana, Georgia, Madagascar. It's Ghana. Whose flag is that? Northern Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland. It's England. Whose flag is that? France, Turkey, Portugal, Egypt. It's Portugal. Whose flag is that? Sudan, Nigeria, Chad, Niger. Of course, it's Nigeria. Whose flag is that? Cuba, Brazil, Mexico, Ecuador. It's Brazil. Temi Olaniyan has over 13 years of professional working experience. She started her career as a network and security engineer. She holds a bachelor's degree in computer engineering from Covenant University and a master's in information technology and management from Illinois Tech, Chicago, United States of America. She leads Meta's risk management program in the HR space and has helped tons of organizations across over 6 industries build their privacy program from scratch. She is the convener of the Word Shop, a Bible study community that hosts members from different continents sharing the Word of God. Baby 9, put your hands together as we welcome Temi.
Hello, baby champions. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is Temi Olaniyan. I'm excited to be at baby number 9. Imagine that. That's awesome. That's amazing. Today, I have been tasked to talk about career and focus on the area of mentorship. Okay. And I'm going to be talking through that. But before I start, let me introduce myself and tell a story about myself. Again, like I mentioned, I'm Temi Olaniyan. I work as a privacy risk manager in one of the biggest tech firms here in the United States. I have been in the career world for over 13 years. I graduated as a computer engineering graduate, and I did network engineering for a while. I was fixing cables. It was so much fun. After a while, I decided I was tired of climbing ladders, climbing ceilings, and fixing cables, and I wanted to do something different. When I started to search, how can I do something different? What can I do differently in my career? I realized that I needed a mentor. I needed somebody to help me out. And that was how career mentorship became a thing for me. How did I meet my mentor? I met her in a very, very, I want to call it like ordained or divine way, or some people might say it's accidental. So I was looking for my next career step, and somebody just randomly introduced me to her and said that this person might be able to help you. And somehow I was introduced to her, I got connected to her, and needless to say, the rest is history. This woman literally took me from where I was in my career to where I literally am today. So mentorship is powerful. Let me start by saying that when you think about mentorship, do not just think about mentorship as one person, as I've explained. Even though I met this person, there were other people on my path that augmented this one woman's mentorship to help me to get where I am today in my career. How do you identify a mentor? Number one, identify what you want to do. So as I was looking for my mentor, I realized I don't want to do network engineering anymore. I want to do something that's related to IT management. And that's really about managing the daily operations of an organization. Once you identify what you want to do, identify what impact you want to make. So it's very important. I've heard some people say, I want to be a software engineer. I want to be a doctor. You know, those questions they ask us when we're younger, what do you want to be in future? We're very quick to say it because we know what we want to do, but sometimes the impact that we want to make is not very clear. And so you have to be clear about your impact. What impact do you want to make? As a software engineer, for example, do I want to create apps that helps people in the health sector so that people can get their medications without having to go to the hospital? What do I want to do as a lawyer? Do I want to help underrepresented communities get their case or win their case very easily? Now, when you have identified what you want to do and you have identified the impact, another example is somebody who wants to be a doctor. Maybe your dream is not just being a doctor, but make impact by actually finding the cure to cancer, right? When you have now found your impact, there is always somebody making impact in a field that you want to get to. And they're all on Google, they're on LinkedIn. You can find them. Some of them are in your church, some of them are in your neighborhood, some of them are even your family members. The first thing you want to do is to identify, are these people reachable to me? So there's two types of mentors. There's mentors that are reachable to you. That means they're in your surrounding. So there are people that maybe are your family members, close friends, somebody introduced to them, like in my case, or maybe on LinkedIn. Now, there are other people that you want to be your mentor, but you don't have close proximity with these people. So let's talk about the people in your proximity first. Now that you've identified those in your proximity who are doing the things that you want to do and are making some type of impact, before you go to them, be succinct and organized about what you want them to do for you. I've had people come to me and say, I want you to mentor me. Mentor you where? Mentor you how? So you can say, mentor me by helping me improve my communication skills. Mentor me by helping me prepare for interviews. Be clear about what you want to get from that mentorship. Second, be mindful of the timing or of the time of your mentors. When you go to your mentors and you're asking for their time, be specific about the time you're asking from them and be respectful of their time. So don't just go to a mentor and say, I want you to mentor me. Say something like, I want you to mentor me in the field of medicine, and I want to be able to schedule a 30-minute call with you every month so that I can understand how to communicate better as a medical doctor. Be clear about the timeline, be clear about how you want them to mentor you, and be clear about what you're looking for. Very important. For if you want to be mentored by somebody who is not in your proximity, you don't know them, maybe they are some form of celebrity, read their books. If you are able to get into the mind of a mentor, guess what? You will achieve what they're achieving or even exceeding. So you get a chance in this world to pick up a material from somebody who you're aspiring to be like. Read their books, listen to their podcast, and maybe you can even make a shot if they're on Instagram. Send them a message and say, I've read 5 of your books. This is amazing. In some cases, they might reach out to you. I had that situation where there was a mentor who was a celebrity in Nigeria. I had watched her videos and I reached out to her on Instagram. She was having a conference and she responded back to me, and I was able to meet her in person. So it's absolutely possible. Finally, what does mentorship do for you? There is a Nigerian adage that says what a child cannot see when they climb, a wall or the mountain, an older person can see it sitting down. Mentorship will prevent you from making mistakes early in life. It would allow you to not make mistakes that you could have made because your mentors can guide you. Mentorship would allow you to pace your path into a success story. And what do I mean by that? Your mentors will be able to give you a direct step-by-step guide on how to get to the place of, your destiny, or the place of your fulfilled career. And finally, mentorship will allow you to go further faster. The things that you didn't think that you were able to do, your mentors will look into you. They will see the potential in you and they will draw that out of you. I like the adage that Stars Delight included in the email that she sent to me, and she said, if we did all the things that we were capable of doing, we will literally astonish ourselves. And one of the ways that you can do all the things you are capable of doing is by identifying a mentor. Would you find a mentor today? I want to encourage you, as you listen to this, go ahead, email that mentor, send a message, listen to that video, hear that story, and before you know it, you are climbing on the shoulders of those that have gone ahead of you, and you are making strides. I'll see you at the next baby. Thank you for having me. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, we're back again. Did you know that if you save just $5 a day, you could have over $1,800 in a year? Small daily choices can lead to significant savings. Did you know that learning about money now prepares you for the responsibilities of adulthood, from paying bills to budgeting and investing? Did you know that with $50 or even less, you can start investing in the stock market? It's like becoming a shareholder in your favorite companies without needing a fortune. Did you know that NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration? Did you know that NASA plans to build houses on the moon by 2040? Dara Babalola, fondly known as Smiling D by teenagers, is the visionary of Stars Delight and the convener of the Be a Better You conference, popularly known as BABY. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology, graduate certificate in addictions and mental health, and a master's degree in human resource management. For over a decade, she has worked with teenagers across 3 continents, providing mentorship, coaching, and grooming them into being better people. She is a mental health professional providing counseling services to at-risk youth in the community. She's also the executive director of Dara Voices, a voice-over service company that provides excellent voice and services to businesses and organizations. Baby 9, with a round of applause, make welcome the convener of the Baby Conference.
Hey guys, I am back. I am back. Okay, guys, I'm sure you guys can see my shirt. My shirt has baby, which is Be a Better You. And I'm here to just share from my heart with you guys. But before I get started, I want you guys to watch a video. It's just about a minute long. And then when we're done, I'm going to share what I want to share with you. See you in a bit.
My love, now and from this day forward, I promise to be your husband, your partner, your lover, and your sidekick.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise, show some love for the latest couple in in Toronto, Mr. and Mrs. Wale and Dara.
So I no listen to the noise. Plenty chariots they run for my
When I say Wale, can I get Dara? Wale. When I say Wale, can I get Dara? Wale. Wale.
Yeah, boy. Elijah left. Avansare to Ferrari law. It's my normal level. Avansare to Ferrari law. So I'm more than able. Avansare to Ferrari law. Cause the spirit is upon. Is upon. Elijah left. Avansare to Ferrari law.
Okay, welcome. How many people were smiling like when you were watching this video? Okay, I love watching that video. Ask me how many times I've watched it. I don't even know, but I've watched it like over and over and again. And why did I share that video with you? Okay, guys, I got married. So for those of you who have been attending baby, you know, right? It's great news. I got married to an amazingly beautiful soul. His name is Wale, and it's just been bliss, right? Now, why did I show you guys that video? Two things. The first thing is this. I want you guys to decide from today to value the people in your lives. Value the relationships in your lives. Value your parents. Value your siblings. Value your friends. They will come in handy. Now, why did I say this? I said that to say this. I am that person who, I don't know, I just want to be that value adding person, reaching out to people not because I want something, but just out of a heart of love. Hey, just checking up on you. Is everything okay? How is work? How is school? And you see, the interesting thing about my wedding is that I had loved ones who had traveled thousands of miles just to come and celebrate with me and my husband. I had my teachers who taught me in Sunday school. Yes, did you hear that? Sunday school as a child come for my wedding. In fact, by God's grace for baby 10, you guys are going to be seeing some of them by the special grace of God, and you can even like just say hello to them or what. I had my teachers from high school attend my wedding. I had my lecturers sending goodwill messages. My lecturers from my bachelor's degree, they couldn't make it because some things had come up. I had my lecturer from my master's send me goodwill messages for my wedding. I had my former bosses coming for my wedding. I had my former co-workers coming for my wedding. And this really warmed my heart to see how, to just see the love and support that my husband and I got, you know, for this wedding, and just sending in goodwill messages, sending in gifts. I had one of my friends who, she didn't only come for my wedding, but because we had a great relationship, she had spoken to her mom about me so much that when I was getting married, herself and her mom flew thousands of miles. In fact, they flew from one continent to another to celebrate with us for the wedding. Value the people in your lives, guys. Do not reach out only when you need help. Don't. Do not reach out only when you need help. Do not be someone who is just a taker, just taking. No, be a giver as well. Be a giver. Don't do things because you want to receive something in return. Do things because you have a heart of love. So that's really what I just thought to share with you guys, that you're leaving baby today being a better person yourself, being a better person with regards to how you handle the people in your lives. Another thing that I want to share with you guys, you know how for every baby, for those of you who have attended baby from baby one, almost 10 years ago, you know how we at baby we're unashamed to say that, hey, young people, it is possible to live a life that is sexually pure. You can glorify God in your bodies. You can wait till marriage before having sex. And guys, I would not come here and say something to you that I haven't done. By the special grace of God, my husband and I decided that, you know what, no sex, no intimacy until we got married. And guys, that happened. Was it difficult? Yes, it was very difficult. But did that happen in terms of just being sexually pure before I got married? Yes, guys, that happened. So I'm just here to encourage you guys that both for guys and girls, it is possible to glorify God in your bodies. I remember as a high school student as well, one of my high school teachers, who also is in the same province that I live now, she would encourage us to say, glorify God in your bodies, live a life that brings joy to God. And I remember those things, and that kept me going. So I just want to encourage you guys, whatever it is you're hearing, whatever it is you're watching, whatever it is you're doing, be that person who would glorify God and bring worship to God. Present your body as a living worship to God all of the time. Guys, it's very possible. My husband and I wrote a book. My name is, of course, you guys know my name. My name is Dara, and my husband's name is Wale. And we wrote a book. The title of the book is Goodies Came Home, which is pretty much a combination of the meanings of our names. And it's such a beautiful read. It's on Amazon. I'd encourage you to order the book, read the book. It's such a beautiful read to just see how God writes beautiful love stories, and how it is possible to just glorify God, and God can give you an amazing, beautiful spouse, and you just have a great time. So, guys, here again is, not to judge you, but to just let you know that it is possible to give God glory, to worship God, to just present your bodies and say, you know what, my body would glorify God. I'm not having sex until I'm married. I'm glorifying God in my body. I'm valuing people, and I'm honoring the people in my life. So, I've come to the end of my own session. I hope you guys found this helpful. And yes, I would be leaving soon. But again, before baby's done, you guys are gonna see me again. Bye for now.
Hi guys, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're watching from. My name is Afolayan Oluwatumishe Eliaza, and I'm honored to be one of the speakers at this year's baby edition titled SOAR. Being here today has been a journey from the first baby program I attended when I was 14, thanks to my mom, to me being a graduate, completing my service here, and getting ready to further my studies. It was at that baby conference I learned about the success stories of other people who had gone ahead of me in their various fields. I also learned it was possible to achieve anything you set your heart on. As a child, I had been relatively good at academics. You are above average type of student, good in schoolwork and all that. But something was always missing. I never had that final push to become the best version of myself. It had always hindered me and made me doubt myself at times. At that particular conference I attended, one of the guest speakers during his speech had a similar experience to me. The challenges he faced were also similar. He highlighted things he did to become a better version of himself. After listening to him, something struck within myself, and I vowed after that day to give myself the final push I would need to become better. Few years after that program, I wrote my senior secondary examination and the required examination into the Higher Institution of Learning, JAM, and also passed them in flying colors. Fast forward to my time at my alma mater, which was Conant University. I had a goal of getting the very best from there, which was to graduate with the first class in my choice, of course, mechanical engineering. I began to work towards achieving this. It is said, if you want to achieve something, you start working towards it as early as possible. I began the work. My first year result was a good one, but I knew I could do better. I knew I had the capacity to improve, so I kept working on myself, studying diligently, reading my books, putting in the work, and surrounding myself with people who were better than me. Those were my friends. Your friends define who you are and how far you go in life. There is an adage that says, birds of a feather flock together. I kept pushing myself and working in order to achieve my goal. As we all know, everything might not work out as planned due to some of unforeseen circumstances. I was not getting the desired result I strove for. I wasn't getting any closer to my goal, and at a point, I began to give up. I began to console myself that I had tried, and at that point was when many people were praying to be. I began to have self-doubt if I can still make it. I lost the hope of making my dream reality. Those were trying times for me. It was at this stage I needed a good support system. My parents were there for me. They encouraged me and kept on telling me I can do it. If I give it my all, I never forget the God factor. I took heed to their word of advice, dusted myself up, and prepared to go again. This time, leaving no stones unturned. I made up my mind I was going to achieve my goal. This time, putting in more work, time, and sweat. I gradually began building up my grade. I read with every strength in me and backed it with prayers from the help from the Most High God. The testimony of that particular speaker in one of baby's gathering kept on ringing in myself, saying that whatever you do, put your heart to it and you can do it. And also, at this stage, I began to build up my grade. I began to build it up, and to that final position. Also, surrounding myself with people who were better than me gave me encouragement and pushed me to become a better person. And the rest they say is history. In the final semester, which is the 10th semester of my 5-year course, I finally achieved my goal and dream of having a first class honor. If I had given up at the 9th semester and resolved to my self justification that, my guy, you have tried your best, that dream will become a reality. Tears of joy rolled down my face when I saw my result. I knew this could be only God backing someone with a great determination and hard work. It wasn't easy, but I made it in the end. All thanks to God for His work. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It wasn't by my might, but by the help of God. The word of advice I got years back that kept pushing me harder with great determination and the confidence built in me by my parents. I am very grateful to all the factors involved. Some of you here today might be facing some challenges similar to mine or differently entirely. I urge you, do not lose focus. Keep pushing, striving for the very best to achieve your dreams. Nothing is impossible. I want you in whatever field you find yourself, whatever skill you are learning, ensure you are the very best and never settle for less. Become like the eagle and soar high. Aim for the stars and you surely hit the moon. I want to see you all in the nearest future, and by God's grace it shall be so. God bless.
Hey guys, hope you've been having a great time at Baby 9. Here are some more things to know. Did you know Dr. Osato Hamwen Osem Winge is an Edo State-born Nigerian man who makes drones for the United States military? He has a doctorate degree from the University of Cincinnati, 4 graduate degrees, and 2 master's degrees. Did you know the first person to successfully conduct a surgery on a fetus and place it back in the mother's womb was Dr. Oluyinka Olutoye? Did you know the first foreign student to achieve a perfect CGPA 5.0 in a Russian university, Rostov State Medical University, is a Nigerian named Somadila Igboanugo? Did you know Chevrolet Volt, considered the most fuel-efficient car in the market, was designed by a Nigerian called Jelani Aliyu? Finally, did you know if you did all the things you were capable of doing, you would literally astonish yourself? Well, now you do. Mr. Oladamola Babalola Babs is the founder and CEO of Fresh RBCIC. He is a social entrepreneur who has been a video production specialist with 13 plus years experience in the pre-post production process. Having graduated with a master's in marketing from the Manchester Business School and being a digital marketing professional, he has delivered video production solutions to national and international brands and projects. As a cancer survivor, he believes he is called to raise the awareness of health through media and believes everyone with a life-limiting or long-term health condition can be creative, still work, have a voice, and be of impact. This is why his social enterprise uses creative media to engage with research primarily around health and also train young people in using media as an advocacy tool for marginalized health themes. Give a warm baby welcome to Mr. Oladamola Babalola as he shares from his heart to you.
Hello there. My name is Oladamola Babalola. Most people in the UK know me as Babs, and I am humbled to have this opportunity to speak to you guys from the UK on this amazing project or this amazing workshop or this amazing event that you guys are part of. It's without a shadow of a doubt that for the fact that you're here watching this video, remotely, whether it's in live in person, or it's later on down the line you watch this recording, is the fact that you want to soar. And I know that's the theme of your event this year. And it's a great privilege that you guys are in this space and you have this such an event to come to. So for me, I just want to come in here, do what I have to do. It's 10 minutes. I have not got a lot of time, but people who know me know that I can speak for the whole of England. So I'm just going to keep it short, keep it sweet. I've got my notes over here just to make sure that I am concise. Okay, so I'm going to start with my story. I am not from when I was in diapers, no, but from when I kind of defined my calling. Obviously, you see me in the space that I'm in. This is my office space right now. We've been running a social enterprise. Well, I've started a social enterprise that's been running for about 10 years. It's called Fresh RBCIC, and it's a media-led social enterprise that focuses on raising the awareness of health through media. And we do that through a lot of projects that we work with the healthcare in this country. That's the national healthcare system. Then also, we also focus on training a lot of young people to use media as a tool to raise the awareness of health. And this is off the back of my own experience. So in 2008, I was an intern at the BBC. I was an intern for 11 months, and I knew that I was passionate about media. In that internship, I did a lot of things in video production and also radio production. And then in 2009, I got diagnosed with cancer. I got diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it changed my whole life. Being able to have been sort of bedridden for 6 months, you can imagine how my whole life had changed in that space. Obviously, going through chemotherapy, it allowed me to reflect on my life, reflect on my connection back with God, and also my purpose on planet Earth. And so this was the beginning of me looking at my story and seeing how I can turn this tragedy into triumph. Then off the back of that, I was supported by a charity called Click Sergeant in the UK. They support young people who are diagnosed with cancer. And with this, I was able to see the power of different sort of being a good Samaritan in itself. And I said, this is what I want to do. But everything that the charity did for me was amazing. But one thing that stood out the most was the fact that they offered us creative workshops. I saw that there was a lot of young people like myself who were going through this whole ordeal, but one thing that stood out was that the ability to be creative allowed us to transcend our health condition. And I said, oh, I understand the power of creativity when I was an intern at the BBC. And then I realized that there was a therapeutic nature of creativity as well. And I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to be able to use media as a tool, not only just to raise the awareness of health, but also to act as a therapeutic hotspot, because the process of creating content is therapeutic in itself. So in 2013, the company was formed. And never look back. It's been a challenging journey. Like, let's not even lie about it. It's been challenging to let people understand what we are about and how we feel like media, creating video content, creating audio content, creating design content can be therapeutic, but also can raise the awareness of health conditions. And we have been doing this for so long. And all of a sudden in 2019, 2020, we all know what happened then. When the pandemic hit is when our company actually surged. So it took us a good, 7-8 years before people started to understand what we were about. But to get the ball rolling, we had to believe we can soar. And I'm using that word because that's kind of the season that we've been in. We've seen a good trajectory, not only just financially, but also impact wise as a company. And we've seen that people are starting to understand what we were about, because the pandemic showed us something that when people were in their homes, not being able to do anything, they were able to still create. And I had my own pandemic when I was going through chemo, and people have realized that. Now, in itself, I've just given you guys a lowdown of why I'm here today, why I believe that I have a story to tell you guys that should inspire you to soar with your ideas, with your visions, with your purpose, and be able to see that, oh, I could achieve more in my life than I am doing right now. And it's all going to be in line with the calling of your life. So when I got diagnosed with cancer, I felt like I was in a space of sort of like reboot. I had to reboot the system, because prior to that, I was just existing as opposed to thriving and living my life. And so for me, I want to do that for you guys today. But one thing I wanted to do was give you guys an acronym that you can take home with, to be able to not just believe in your ideas, believe in what you're about, but also be able to thrive and also have a steadfast foundation in why you do what you're doing. As human beings, we are human beings, not human doings. So it's in the journey of the process of creating something that we find our calling. It's more about how do we get to a place or a state of being that we can achieve anything we put our minds to. And people can tell us, no, you can't do this, or no, you can't achieve this. But one thing for sure is that you can achieve anything you put your mind to, so long as it's in line with the will of God and is in line with your own purpose. You are on a successful journey. So I'll start with this acronym. It's called WATER. You have to be as fluid as water, but it's not spelled properly. It's a WATRR, water. Okay. So if you are able to flow like water, that is not spelled properly, you're able to achieve a lot in your life. Okay. So the first thing is the W. The W, and what does it stand for? It stands for why. You know, you have to understand your why. You have to be able to know, why am I created? Why am I feeling like I can achieve something? Or why do I feel like something that I want to achieve is in line with what I'm about? Okay. And this is open heart surgery for yourself. You have to do an open heart surgery with yourself, with your soul. And this comes in line with you praying to God, being able to get to the spot whereby you are in a very good relationship, walking and talking relationship with God. And when you understand your why, you kind of have an idea of how it could manifest. It could manifest in different ways. So for me, the why was because I was diagnosed with cancer. I saw the power of creativity. And the thing about, by nature, God has created us as creative beings. That's what we are about. And I saw the nature and I saw the power of it. And I said, this is what I want to offer a lot of people on planet Earth whilst I'm still alive. For this generation that I live in, I wanted to give them the opportunity to be creative. And so I had to financially find a way, I said that explicitly, financially find a way to make sure that this can be a thing. And we are still in the process of doing that. But so far, so good. We are coasting. I mean, we are a team of 4 of us looking to expand to 5 as well. And so we just keep on growing and keep on hoping that we can achieve more. Okay. So the first thing is understanding your why. Once you understand your why, you go on to the A of water, which is action. You start taking bite-sized actions. Taking bite-sized actions allows you to be able to get to a point whereby you know where you want to be. Of course, you're not there yet, but you can actually go back and just take one step towards your journey. For me, it looked example was, I knew for sure that I wanted to be self-employed. I knew for sure that I wanted to run a social enterprise doing this. But what did I need to do? I set up the company in 2013 whilst I was still working for another company. I set up that company. That was the first bite-sized action. I looked for a business loan to get me going. When I got the business loan, I quit my job. That was another bite-sized action, a big bite-sized action. Off the back of that, I picked up a camera, bought some camera gear. Then I eventually went on and started filming. And best believe you me, for a good chunk of 4 or 5 years of the business, we were filming weddings. Weddings was the thing. But I was rather in a position of, I would want to film weddings instead of being able to sit in a desk and do nothing. And that allowed me to, what we call, better my skills in creativity. So bite-sized action is very important. Ensure that you take bite-sized actions that are in line with your vision, in line with your goal, in line with what you want, what you think you can achieve on planet Earth. Okay? And then the next thing you need to do is the T, track record. Keep a track record of everything that you're doing. When you keep a track record of everything you're doing, not only is it to inspire yourself and show you that God can work through the many things that you've done, but also is a good way of testifying to other people to show that God can actually make things happen. Be very, very intentional about the way you keep your track record. The track record should be a thing for you. more than it is a thing for other people to see. Now, out of that track record, you can select a couple of things for other people to see. But what you want to do is keep a track record of the faithfulness that not only God has given you or God has, put upon you, but also the faithfulness for you in line with the will that you have, the will of God for your life, in a sense. So I would like you to keep a track record. So remember, water, understand your why, that's the W. And then the A is take bite-sized actions. And then the T is keep a track record of the things. Now we go to the first R. You need to reflect, okay? Reflect on what has gone right and what has gone wrong on your journey. Reflect on the steps that you've taken that have been positive and that have been negative. It's very important that you get to the point whereby you see that there are certain things that you might have done that were not fruitful. Okay, let's not make a mistake about that and think everything we have done is fruitful. There's some things you might have done that have not been fruitful, and it's important that you know that and you truncate that and you don't do that again. And you do the things that have been fruitful in your journey, and then you move on with that and you make sure that you achieve more of those things. And the ability to reflect on these things allows you to be able to do the next step, which is the next R, which is repeat. Okay, repeat it and just keep repeating it and then do it all over again, okay? Revise your why, okay? Take bite-sized actions, keep a track record, reflect, and then repeat. And just keep doing that. Keep doing it. And it will be a little thing that kind of, it almost becomes a subconscious thing you start doing. I do that subconsciously every single time. I reflect on everything that I've done. I go back to my why. Why am I still doing this thing? Okay. Have I been achieving the actions? Have I been doing the actions that I really need to do? Then eventually I go, okay, I've kept the track record of this. Okay, these things I believed in and have happened. Once upon a time, having my own office, having a team was one of my dreams, and here we are. So it's almost like, okay, I have more ideas in the future. So I look back on how I've done that, what have worked, what haven't worked, and then eventually you just keep on doing that, and then you reflect, and then you repeat. And what happens is that not only are you becoming a good steward of your calling, but you're also becoming a what we call a disciplined individual as you build your faith on foundation on a solid ground. So for me, I wanted to leave you guys with that, just so that you understand that in order to soar, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. There are some processes and procedures in becoming successful in whatever you feel like you are called to do, but also ensure that you have peace in everything that you do. Having peace in a calling is probably the most successful thing in other than making money and all that stuff. It's about having peace and feeling like you can sleep well at night because you know you're in line with what God has for your life. So that being said, I'm going to call it a day now. I could speak forever, but I feel like that's something I can leave you guys with. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of this event and go ahead and soar because you can be a better you.
Yes, guys. Oh my goodness. It's a wrap. Baby 9 is a wrap, and I am so excited. I just want to say a big thank you for staying, for watching, for listening. I hope you found, this conference very helpful. And I just want to say to you guys, please take notes of everything that you've said. And I know you've been taking notes, you've been paying attention, but do not let it leave you. Don't let all the things that we said go in one ear and get out of the other one. No, we're not doing that. Put them to work. And what I want to say to you is if you can, write it in your journal what you want to see in your life in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. What I'm doing now, or what I've been doing with baby, like since, well, almost a decade, is something that I wrote when I was in the university, and now it has become a reality. So, guys, again, I just want to say a big thank you for being a part of this year's baby. A big thank you to all the speakers. Thank you so much. A big thank you to all the coordinators. You guys did amazing. To all the team members as well. I am here to say thank you. And already I am excited about baby 10. Oh my goodness, that's exciting already. Okay, guys, till the next baby, I cannot wait to hear your amazing baby experiences, and I cannot wait to hear how you're going to be soaring so high in every aspect of your lives. Bye for now.